All right, in this video, we're going to look at Zapier task history and errors. So I'm going to submit the form that we created in a previous instructional video here, and I'm just going to submit that. And hopefully it will show up here. And it does. The problem is we should have run into an error because we didn't get a text message as our form or Zap would indicate. Again, going back to the previous video, when a form is submitted, it creates a Google Sheet row, and then it should text or send a text to the lead, which was me in this case, submitting the form. So I have an email that is a possible error on your Zapier test form. So again, it's giving me some information here that the Zap did not function as I had expected it to. So one, we can view my task history, and we're going to see lots of instances where it fired correctly, and then the most recent instance where it did not fire correctly. Again, this is just showing the stopped and errored. I'm going to show everything at this point for this Zap, and we're going to see it fired correctly these 3 times, and then it did not fire correctly on this last time. So you can see along the Zap what has come in and then what information is sent out. Again, this is the information I sent. This is the data that came in, data that went out, and then here's where we have the problem. This is usually highlighted in red with an X at it. If it's sending to a number, but as we mentioned on a previous video, this did not have the country code on it intentionally. So it says app return the to number. It's not a valid phone number because it is missing some information. So it's a 400 bad request. So let's go into the task history. We're going to go right into the Zap here and take a look at it. Now this is another way to look at the task history. So whether it fired properly or not, you can always come in and look at your task history from within the Zap, and you're going to see that same information. Now in this case, I know that it was an error because the to message, the to phone number, did not include the country code. And this is a pretty common error when sending out text messages. So now I'm going to continue, and we are going to we'll send a test message to continue. And this is another way you can kind of manually push through information, is by pulling up that text and then correcting it and sending it manually. So you can see now came through. It was great to meet you today. Thanks for coming to the event. So now we are all set. You need to remember to turn this Zap back on. And then let's go back to our submission. And then we're going to change this name just so we can track it. Jim, and didn't enter my email. Okay. And we can see, let's see, will it come through? And it does. It came through on our Google Sheet, so we know that that is functioning properly. And we can now look in our task history, and we should see the previous version sending an error, and then now you can even see when it is playing or in action, if you will. And we just received, hello Jim, it was great to meet you today. Thank you for coming to the event. So that is in fact working now, and we are all set. So that's how to look at a Zap's task history. You can filter this through any of the individual apps, and then you can identify whether it was successful or stopped or errored. So you can isolate what has happened You can look at what's currently playing. So this is important when you might see a delay in Zapier, which we're going to discuss in a little bit. But that will show a lot of tasks playing, holding, waiting, scheduled, delayed. Again, we can go into all those on subsequent videos, but that is how to take a look at task history and then getting alerts when you have an error.